I'm concerned for the people of Venezuela. I know they have been suffering under their president, Maduro, for several years. And now President Trump says a land invasion of Venezuela is possible. In today's English lesson, we are going to watch a news clip about how President Trump says not only are they going to be attacking the sea, to try to get rid of drug smugglers, they're also possibly going to invade Venezuela. In today's English lesson, you will learn two different pronunciations for combat. You'll also learn what authoritarian is. And of course, we have to talk about some English phrasal verbs like to take out. We'll also talk about what carried out means. We'll also talk about what a regime change is, and so much more. About 20 new terms in total. If that sounds good to you, please go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if this is your first time here, and let's watch the news clip together.
This morning, President Trump considering U.S. strikes on Venezuelan soil to combat drug cartels.
Well, I don't want to tell you exactly, but we are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
The president also escalating U.S. operations against Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro. Trump confirming he's authorized covert CIA action in the country. But when asked if the agency has the authority to take out Maduro, Trump non-committal.
They use the verb considering. Considering, that means thinking carefully about something before making a decision. And we can see in the picture, this woman is enjoying a cup of coffee, but it does look like she is considering something. She is considering moving to another city for work. And we are talking about a possible invasion on Venezuelan soil. Soil here means like land, but it can also mean like the top layer of earth where plants grow. It's like a more official way to say dirt. But when I hear soil, I think good for growing. Farmers need good soil to grow healthy crops. But here it can mean like the freedom of a country, like to control their own land. Combat. Combat. That means to fight against someone or something. And here I have a picture. Now, this is French. This is not in English. But when I was in France earlier this year, I noticed a lot of young people smoking. So I thought maybe the French government would like to combat teen smoking. Here's the sentence. The government is trying to combat teen smoking. But of course, if this is English, we have to make it difficult. We have one word with two different pronunciations. Take a look at the verb first. It's on the right. This is the one we have been talking about. Combat, to fight against something. The government is trying to combat climate change. But look at the noun. That is pronounced combat. And that is a fight or battle, especially during a war. I will make myself disappear so we can read the sentence. Many soldiers were injured in combat. Under control is next, and that means when a problem or situation is being managed and is not dangerous anymore. You'll hear this quite a bit with fires, and we can see some firefighters here in the picture. The fire is now under control thanks to the firefighters. And President Trump is trying to get the drug problem we have in the United States under control. He believes a lot of the drugs we have in this country come from Venezuela. Authoritarian. Authoritarian is next. That is a person or a government that expects people to obey rules without question. Some people in the United States think Trump is an authoritarian leader. Many people around the world think Nicolas Maduro is an authoritarian leader. Let's get a sentence here. We'll make this picture a little bigger. You can see somebody does not have the freedom of speech in an authoritarian government. Not easy to say, authoritarian. The country is ruled by an authoritarian leader who allows no free speech. I love this adjective here, covert. Covert, that means secret or hidden and not done openly. Yeah, secretly. So take a look at this picture here. We have a cat and it is trying to get that bird. So I think that cat is on a covert mission to get the bird. Here's another sentence. The spy carried out a covert mission at night. Don't worry, we will be talking about that English phrasal verb carried out really soon. Please let me interrupt this English lesson for just a second to tell you that I am offering speaking classes. If you would like someone to practice with so you can improve your English, I could be that guy. Use the code FALL15 to get 15% off your speaking lesson. But we have another English phrasal verb here, to take out. That means to remove or destroy something or someone. Maybe Nicolas Maduro will be taken out. If that happens, that will be a regime change. We'll talk about regime change in a minute. But here is something that has nothing to do with war or drugs. The video game player took out all the robots on the screen. I hope you don't feel non-committal towards your English learning. Let's get the definition for that. It means not showing a clear opinion or decision. I wonder if this happens to you. He made a non-committal shrug and changed the subject. Maybe his wife said, "Hey, what do you want for dinner tonight?" And he just shrugged. He did not commit to what he wants to eat. Now, maybe we should talk about what a shrug is in English. I'm going to do it right now. You use your shoulders to do it. You just kind of lift them up. And we often mean like, I don't know when we do that, when we shrug. It could also mean, I don't care.
I think Venezuela's feeling heat.
In a statement overnight, Venezuela accusing Trump of trying to legitimize a regime change operation to access the country's oil resources, saying they would bring up the matter at the UN Security Council today. It comes after the U.S. carried out its fifth deadly strike on an alleged drug boat off the coast of Venezuela. Trump posting this video on social media, saying 6 male narco-terrorists aboard the vessel were killed in the strike. The Trump administration's operation in the Caribbean first began in early September and has drawn fierce condemnation from Democratic lawmakers who say the strikes risk getting the U.S. into a full-fledged war.
Feeling the heat. Here we have an idiom because it rarely has anything to do with fire. That means experiencing pressure or criticism from others. Like people are saying you are doing a bad job. Take a look at the picture. We have a soccer player here, and it looks like he just missed a goal. The player was feeling the heat from the crowd after missing the goal. So they are probably criticizing him. They are probably saying things like, how could you miss that goal? Legitimize. Legitimize. It is a verb and it means to make something legal or accept. Everybody in my family is home right now. Hopefully, this microphone is doing its job because it's a little noisy outside of this room. But let's take a look at the picture. We have some artwork here, and it might be called graffiti or street art. Usually it's like on the street, but here it's in an art gallery. The artist's success helped legitimize street art as real art. Regime change. A regime is a government that probably isn't very popular. And the United States has a history of causing regime change, and sometimes it doesn't work out really well. Regime change is when one government is replaced by another, especially by force. The United States was secretly drawing up plans for a regime change in Venezuela. That is just an example. I hope that's not true, but I think a lot of people in Venezuela are not happy with their government. I'm just not sure if the United States should be making that decision. I'm pretty sure if China was doing the same thing to, say, like Taiwan, the United States would not be happy about that. Carried out. That mean done or completed. When an action or plan is performed. So let's take a look at the picture here. We have some volunteers. Volunteers carried out repairs at the old playground. But carried out can be a little difficult, so let's take a look at this slide here. Again, it means to do or complete a task, a plan, or action. I'm going to get rid of my picture so we can read some sentences that use carried out. The scientists carried out an experiment on water quality. The police carried out an investigation after the robbery. The workers carried out their jobs carefully and safely. Narco, they use a form of this word in the newscast. I just changed it to the most common way. A narco is a person who sells or moves illegal drugs, short for narcotics dealer. The police arrested a narco who was smuggling drugs across the border. Next, we have vessel. Vessel is a large boat or ship that travels on the water. The United States has been blowing up many vessels leaving Venezuela. Some of these are like submarines. They can go under the water, so they can't be detected. Let's read a sentence that uses vessel. The Navy vessel sailed into the harbor. Condemnation is next. It is a noun and it means strong disapproval or saying that something is wrong or bad. His cruel words earned him condemnation from his friends.
The Trump administration's operation in the Caribbean first began in early September and has drawn fierce condemnation from Democratic lawmakers who say the strikes risk getting the U.S. into a full-fledged war.
There's lots of people who have been designated terrorists. That does not automatically give the authority to take lethal action.
Asked why he's striking the boats instead of using traditional Coast Guard operations where officers can verify who is on the boat, Trump saying the Coast Guard boats are too slow.
They have faster boats. Some of these boats are seriously, I mean, they're world-class speedboats, but they're not faster than missiles.
So far, the administration has provided limited details and no evidence to prove that the 27 people killed were attempting to traffic drugs to the U.S. as they claim.
So there's a 1 in 4 chance, statistically speaking, that one of these boats may not have had any drugs on it. We will never know because they were blown to smithereens.
Lethal. Lethal, that means able to cause death. In other words, deadly. Take a look at this picture here. We have a snake. I know many of them have bites that could be lethal. The snake's bite can be lethal to humans. Full-fledged. That means complete or fully developed. After years of training, she became a full-fledged pilot. I have a question for you. Please let me know in the comments. Are you a full-fledged English speaker, or do you still need a little work? Verify. Verify. That means to check that something is true or correct. The reporter must verify all facts before writing the article. Definitely my favorite term of this lesson, blown to smithereens. That means completely destroyed into very small pieces. Now, of course, I don't like the idea of boats being blown up and destroyed, but I do like the term blown to smithereens. I don't even know what smithereens is, but they're probably really small pieces or something like that. The old building was blown to smithereens by the explosion. And in the picture, we have some footage of what some people think are drug boats being blown to smithereens. Congratulations, you made it to the end of a very difficult English lesson. Right down there is another English lesson about Maduro and Trump not getting along. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.